So while we're here in Module 8, I think it bears, reason to talk really quickly here about charts. Everything we have been doing here with Access has been about the accumulation of data and the display of information, hopefully the display of information, so that a third party, so it's us, it's the database, and now we have a third party involved, right? A user out there someplace, a manager, a client, whatever the case might be. So now that we have a third party, what we need to do is think about how we need to express that information to them. So if last week, when we were talking about forms and reports, where we did the single column because it's easier for a user to read, where we did the easiest to hardest data to enter because we have created data inertia there and people will hopefully continue with entering your data, where when we looked at forms and aggregation, we would talk about things like, okay, now give them a summary field, right? So that they can see, okay, this is what individuals are doing, but now how are they doing as a group? When we're looking to express that information for a client, the best way that we can do that is with a chart. Graphics are better than text any time. Now, there's actually two ways that this is true. This gets into the weeds of the psychology of work. This gets into the weeds of how, our lizard brains function a little bit. Numbers are a construct that we have made, after having been a species for a long time, right? So numbers are not necessarily something that your brain remembers the easiest. That's why it's much easier for us to get those wrong. A picture, on the other hand, is, just a visual stimulus. So we have studies that show, even if you are interested in the material that is being presented to you. So if you are, the owner of the organization and you are interested in whatever the web traffic that is coming in, I want to know what kind of user is coming through here. That's something that I can capitalize on, that I can sell, that I can earn with. Now, if I provide to you a piece of text, you will invariably either, number one, forget it. There's like, for everybody, there's a chart that we can show you. It's like after 3 months, you remember only a portion of it, between 30 and 50%. And that's if you want to remember it. By the time a year is gone, your accuracy of remembering that is down in the 10% range. And that's not very good. Now, if instead we presented you with a graphic, so an image that helps you visualize the represented data there, the represented information there, you have, at 1 year, you still have a 50% shot at getting that right. That is 5 times the capacity for remembering after a year, simply because I chose what kind of format to present that data to you. So in all ways, video is better than text. That's why we don't type this stuff out. In all ways, having a chart is better than just having numbers spilled out there in a form or a report. So even though I believe it is 8.14 through the rest of the chapter, frankly, is, working with charts and modifying charts, so things like labels, etc. I did. I think, like, tonally, I sort of dismissed it there. Really, it's not to be dismissed. The graphical representation of data is what makes you successful when you present the data in the form of information that has come from your database. The text aspect of it pales in comparison. So this is what in a textbook, I call it the inverse proportionality of importance, because how important a thing is represented in like a little sliver of text. So there'll be like a throwaway paragraph. It is the shortest from chapters 4 through 6, or from modules rather, 4 through 6. Here, 4 through 8. Dyslexia is hitting real hard today when I'm reading my notes here. From 4 through 8, almost the shortest piece in here, and I'm putting them together, is 8-14 through 8-16. That's just a little sliver of the greater 4-chapter bundle there. And honestly, it's the piece that's going to get you paid, is if you can remember that images are greater than text, your data, your information is going to have a longer impact on the third party that you have to present it to. And that's the whole point of having a database, because otherwise we just collect data. It doesn't mean anything. We have to tell other people, other third parties, what that data actually means. Voila, charts.